Hello, and welcome to Magic Myths and Mayhem, a TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I am Alex, your host and GM, and with me are Ron, Pody, Mark, and Joe, my wonderful players. How is everyone doing today?
The hornpipe. I'm doing the hornpipe.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm going to cut that out. And I'm gonna leave in the part where I said I'm gonna cut that out, and no one's gonna know what I've cut out.
Instead, I think you should just bass boost it while I'm talking.
That's the new censor sound that I use sometimes.
Like,
What are you going to say?
I think some listeners who's listened to episode 1 like I started are going to agree. I turned that shit up because I couldn't hear anything and then got blasted with "Hello!" really fucking loud in my ears.
I mean, you don't need to turn that up.
I would just like to take this moment, as this is our first podcast since it happened, actually last Friday, to have a moment of silence for Watto, who is now canonically dead.
Gosh, it hurts.
What?
Rip
So
Watto.
anyway,
Toe.
Who?
yeah,
Watto!
you know who Watto is.
Do I?
Yeah,
I
don't
know
pretend
this
you like
is.
you don't.
I genuinely don't know.
You know,
This
Jedi-
is really
you were there when I
insensitive,
told
guys.
the other two.
Exactly. You know, Jedi mind tricks don't
Watto's
work on me.
dead.
Oh, fuck him.
God, talking about blowing out eardrums.
Yeah, you're talking, Purdy. What the fuck?
What did I do?
You broke our
blew out our
eardrums.
How?
I no longer have eardrums, and that's thanks to you.
How the fuck did I even do that?
Dad no longer has eardrums, and that's just because he's old.
I don't even know what I did.
You went whoa, really loud.
This is Watto. To refresh your memory of a dearly beloved character,
Yeah, it's Watto.
who is now in canon dead.
I recognise said character. A fictional character in the Star Wars franchise featured in the films The Phantom Menace and so forth. Why is he dead?
In a comic released on Friday, Darth Vader went to Tatooine and killed him.
Revenge! So anyway, we have a recap. It's super
that was
useful and
Watto.
super helpful. Everybody was here last week in character, but not in person. So, yeah, go for it. I guess. If you want. The Sea Witch crashed with violent might, 2 ships of wood and steel. The crews began their fateful fight, 2 captains at 2 wheels. A cannon roared from Niffy's hand, point blank, a daring blow, while Pumpkin crushed, no reprimand, the skull of this injured foe. Ozzy danced with flashing blade, attacks precise with power, whilst Pesto's toys brought doom and raid, making the enemy cower. And Monty, aiming with a grin, his pistol ready, click, jammed. To fix, he broke it, cursed his sin, his plan so swiftly damned. The captain, in a desperate play, cast fire to end them all, yet flames were drowned without delay, a move worth nothing at all. Below the decks, the slaves were found, reward for this bloodshed. A key was needed, but not around, so brute force was used instead. With treasure packed, they sailed free, a sunken boat behind, to rest the night on this black sea, a time for them to unwind.
Pretty good.
Oh, that was going into the intro again, wasn't it? Yeah, I will probably edit it slightly differently, maybe I won't, but I'd forgotten that this is the first one where I didn't have a slow fade into the beginning, and I near made myself shit myself with my own
You
editing.
jump scared yourself.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So we start up our wondrous adventure, or should I say continue our adventure, in the midst of the seas, a few hours out from the edge of Ecte, close to where Cell would be, as you have finished off the mission of finding the slaves from the slavers. You have destroyed the slavers, all but one. I didn't mention, the Red Dragon got away, and decided to go off at a little angle, not directly back to Cell, so you couldn't be followed. Rest for hours, and then go back in the morning to claim your reward. But as has been mentioned in the pre-ramble, only available on Patreon for $1 a month, you
Don't
do
put it
indeed
into
have-
the middle of the fucking. That's so rude.
You do. It's like one of those pop-up ads at the
Taking
bottom of
Joe's
American
job
TV.
now.
Wow, way to rub in unemployed, Alex. Jesus.
There's 3 of you unemployed. What do you want from me?
What the?
What are you doing?
I'm looking in the chat from last week with these pictures.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So you have the captain of the Sea Witch, a ship that no longer floats above the ocean, tied up, hogtied or whatever. I'm sure down in your cargo hold or something along the lines. I believe you had them unconscious at last check. Depending on when you get back into this, they will probably either still be unconscious or be awake. That is up to you.
I've been having one of my toys guard them and knock them out if they wake up. So.
Perfectly fine. I reckon if you smack someone in the head enough times to knock them unconscious, it is going to do some lasting damage. But let's just skip over that bit. What the hell? Purdy's turned into a ceiling.
Purdy, why do you do that?
That's Purdy on the right there. Those flowers.
Yeah, she's a closet.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
What was with that fucking
You're muted.
white
You're muted.
transition? That was incredible.
It was. You just
Star Wars ain't got nothing on.
hand over there, and suddenly you were the.
I don't know.
Do it again.
No, don't do it again. I'll get all confused. I was going to say, is the captive tied up? I presume the captive is tied up.
Yes.
Captain is tied up. Yes.
If I were to put, for example, my broken gun out of reach but in the hold with her, it would be shouting annoying phrases at her all night. That should soften up.
So you pull out your gun, and of course, whilst still broken, it's like, oh, for God's sake, you broke me now. It's fucking ridiculous. You put it down on the ground next to a walkway, and it is quiet as anything.
Yes, we should let you know. We worked out that it's whatever weapon you are wielding now seems to have the voice. Because it was initially the sword, and then while we were in the fight and you tried to shoot, your gun was then talking to you in the same voice.
In that case, I shall pick it up again and take out my sword.
Which one are you holding? You're holding them both?
In my dominant... I'm going to hold them both and see what happens.
To be honest, the voice comes from one of them. As you wield and unwield in both of your left and right hands, it seems random which one is the one that's talking. But it still complains about being wielded or broken or being a sword. So yes, it's really up to you. So Rowan, you were just saying prior to this that you don't want to have done your long rest yet, which is perfectly fine. So it's only been a few hours.
I've just sorted out my spells. Damn it.
It's fine. It won't make too much difference. It's been a few hours since the end of the battle. You've floated across the seas. You're in the midst of nowhere. Your navigator knows where you are and relative to other spots, but
Do I though?
in the middle of nowhere. And the captain, probably you're getting your first little notification from your toys that they're starting to stir, but they have not knocked them unconscious yet.
Captain, they're stirring.
Right, let's go and have a word.
Let's go kill her. Oh, yes, word.
Oh,
yes,
and
word.
by the way, could you do something with my gun? I appear to have broken it.
Yeah, give me here.
Thank you, that's very, very kind. As soon as I give it, does it stop talking?
Yes, so it's for goodness sake, let's do it once a bit.
Oh, sorry, friend. I'll start tinkering.
That's fine. I cannot remember the official rules, but in the long rest, that'll be fine. You can have that
exactly. I don't need it back yet. So.
There probably is a check, but you have.
I think the rule is that it does take a long rest to fix it after it breaks.
That was what I was fairly sure on. And you're all sorts of. You've got mending and such as well, anyway. So. So the captain is tied up, arms behind back, legs probably tied up as well, just down in your cargo hold.
Lem is standing there with the dagger to attention. Wait.
Yeah. The only thing they've sort of done is like wiggled over so they're not like face first into the ground. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they're kind of just lying there, struggling to move.
Oh, Captain, sorry for the less than stellar accommodation we have for you.
Right. You want to explain to me why I'm tied up?
Because you're a shitbag.
Just in case, it is important for you to know, her wormling escaped. We didn't/couldn't kill it. But it seemed very purposefully going in off in a direction.
So basically, we've got something that's going to grow into an enormous red dragon that hates us and has got away. What you're saying?
Or if they're going to inform somebody else
Yeah.
what our ship is, who we are, and yeah.
Marvelous.
It was also brought to everyone's attention that this is the same crew that you all stole the egg for in C3.
We don't know that though.
But yeah, you can't just don't know that. You as people.
What do you mean, you all? Some of us were principled.
That's true. That's true. So we didn't go. It just looks like. All right, you've stolen our stuff, sunk my ship, and what am I here for?
Well, that's a very good question. What is she?
What great captain, in control of your crew and everything.
I wasn't here in mind last time, only in body. Any particular reason? Well, the main reason, Captain, is because we don't kill unnecessarily. And
You killed every one of my crew.
They were trying to kill us, so therefore we had
Was I?
to fight back. Yes, but you, luckily for you, we managed to capture rather than kill. So, bully. Now, Captain, I have no particular desire to kill you. However,
Good.
I must ask why you have decided to go into a loathsome trade such as slaving.
What? Why do you... What? So you came all the way out into the open sea to steal all my stuff, kill all my crew, and then ask me why I'm a slaver?
I'm rather giving you the opportunity to mend your ways rather than us having to
In my ways? You just killed everyone and stole everything. Arguably worse, I don't kill people.
I think you must have had a few deaths in your time from the slaves.
No, slaves stay alive. Fed, watered, they don't sell well if they're dead. You're at a higher kill count than my crew.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
And you're questioning my morals.
That's because they fucking sucked.
And you stole the slaves anyway.
They were
Well, to be fair, actually, no. That one's an assumption. Did you just drown them in the ship or something?
No, they're having snacks in the cafeteria upstairs.
Well, there you go.
We should be releasing the slaves in due time.
Bully. So why am I here?
They were interested in your little pet, your little red dragon friend.
Why? You've got your own.
That is true. But we were interested in where your little dragon pet was going.
Cool.
Don't suppose you'd care to enlighten us?
If we took down all of your crew... In fact, I'll ask... I don't know your name. The one who owns the dragon. If your dragon managed to get away and killed everyone and you were captured, would you...
No, I take your point. What about if I was to say, as an alternative, you can either tell us where your dragon was going, or we tie lead weights around your feet and throw you over the side of the ship, for example.
Then you obviously are not a parent. Or in fact a pet owner at the very least. Throw me over. I'm not going to tell you where it's going.
Can I insight check her to see if she actually cares about this thing or if it's just going to do some dirty work?
Yeah, most certainly do.
As you're doing that, I'll go to our esteemed captain and just whisper in his ear, and I'll say, could I suggest that we don't throw her overboard? Because we can kill her and then I can just ask her tomorrow.
I wasn't actually planning on killing her at all. I'd rather you didn't let her know that.
Oh.
14.
It seems to be, genuinely... This seems to be a... it's not obviously not anger, but an anger at like a mother's rage, like a protective shroud.
Now, I know this is going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the circumstances. But I'm going to try and cast a charm person.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to be rolling a... Wisdom. Is a 21.
I mean, to be fair, she's not in a position where a charm person would really make sense.
You try and cast this bardic spell, which just sort of gives you a deadpan face. Like, if you're going to kill me, just kill me. If you're going to let me free, then let me free.
Can I ask you a straightforward question?
Can I stop you?
No. But you can refuse to give a straightforward answer, which I'd very much. If we were to let you go, would you be going out there, finding yourself a crew, and coming back to try and kill us all?
No. Didn't work the first time. And I wasn't even trying to kill you. I've already said we aren't killers.
I'm not very inclined to kill, unless in the heat of battle, then I have to.
Well, that's pretty obvious. You tried, and then your gun jammed up, and then you did nothing.
Yes. It was not my finest hour, but that wasn't my fault. Chaps, unless you can give me a very good reason, I think we should let this lady go.
Oh, I think that she'll try and kill us all.
And then we'll kill her when she comes after us.
Yeah, but what if we don't succeed? I mean, that's just from my perspective for the safety of the ship. If you want to set her loose, then by all means.
I would like to set a moral standard for our actions. I don't have any objection to killing when there is a reason for it. But killing somebody in cold blood just kind of in front of me, not my style.
Then put me in a 1-for-1, or chuck me over the edge, or put me on an island. I don't care. Just do something.
I don't have blood. Does that make it easier, Captain?
Not a great deal, no. What do the rest of you think?
I just don't like her.
You have to like everybody.
Up to you, Captain.
Pesto, what do you think? What is your moral stance on this?
I think slaving is a lot worse than killing, actually. But,
I would not necessarily disagree, but I don't think that doesn't mean that us killing her is justified.
I'm gonna have Lem knock her out.
Sure, roll on the deck. Advantage because they're prone, tied up in that.
How does that old saying go? If you kill a slaver, the number of slavers in the world stays the same?
Something like that.
25.
25, yeah, fine. Just gets the hilt, bam, straight in the temple, face down.
She's just resting.
She wouldn't even notice now if we killed her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the idea of killing somebody who is helpless.
I could give her a knife.
I don't think it would be a fair fight.
We could wait till tomorrow morning and then have like a battle to the death between her and Ozzy. My money's on Ozzy.
Well, what if we put a little bit of, like, poetry to it? What if, her little dragon escaped? So why don't we ask see if Pumpkin wants to eat her? And then she can fight for her life, and if she kills Pumpkin, she wins. Superiority over the dragon. But if she loses, then we don't have to worry about a meal ration for Pumpkin.
Just getting daggers from Niffy.
I just think if there's even the slightest chance that she's going to go back out there and try to start slaving again, that's going to be a net negative for the world. So that's my argument. The rest of the decision is up to you, Captain.
Yes.
I'm going to go finish repairing this gun.
I do understand your point. The point being, of course, if we let her go, is she just going to go out there and cause horrendous misery in the world yet again?
Was it part of the job that we had to kill her?
No.
Oh, all right then. It's whatever you want to do, Captain.
Well,
like if you don't want to see, I'm happy to do it in a different room.
What I want to do is to turn her over to the authorities. But I don't know the authorities will do anything about it.
It also exposes us.
Another good point.
Like, because we're not officially sanctioned, and this is all part of, like, an illegal adventuring situation, we technically have committed an act of piracy.
Yeah.
It's like, you wouldn't steal a handbag, you wouldn't steal a cart.
Stop.
Chaps, although I may come to regret it, I would prefer not to kill somebody who is a prisoner and held in a position of helplessness. So I think we find a quiet little island somewhere, preferably uninhabited, and we just drop her off.
Right. And then what?
If she's able to get back to civilization, well done her.
And if not, she just kind of starves to death. I like it.
But we're not actually killing her, we're giving her a chance. Nunu, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with whatever you're saying.
Niffy's just completely distracted by Pumpkin came down and then just like started biting into one of the barrels full of like some sort of like dried jerky or something like that, and then Niffy's over there just like, get off.
Yeah, she was just like not paying any attention. Like she never actually pays any attention to what you say.
Rude.
No, chap.
Oh yeah.
I have made my decision. We're going to drop her off. If she goes out and kills us all later, I apologise.
All right.
I'm going to head back up to the wheel. Nunu, could you?
So you at this point haven't had your long rest, so you are hurt, injured, tired, have not slept since the previous night. It's the early hours of the morning. So you can, I've said before, you can keep going. It would eventually obviously start putting in some exhaustion and such. But
No, I would say to the guys that let's sleep on this one. Assuming that I don't change my mind overnight, we'll head for a small, uninhabited island, preferably with some food on it tomorrow, and then we'll head back home. Everyone
All right.
say, yes, great idea.
Yeah, sure.
why don't you
Thank
check out-
you very much indeed, all of you, particularly the dragon friend. Right, sleep time.
wonderful new rest. Do your toys require sleep recasting? Do they go away? Do they go inactive whilst you're resting, or are they just?
It's another thing I can do over the long rest
What is it? So
to restore one.
what I mean is the ones that are already there. Because I presume you want them guarding the captain overnight.
Oh yeah.
Are they
they're
able to
fine.
just
They're-
stick around? Yeah.
As long as they're existing, they're full creatures such as.
Sure. And are they sentient enough to follow a command?
Mhm. If I say guard them, knock them out if they wake up, or guard them, knock them out if they wake. Yeah,
Well, that was correct.
yeah, I said it right. Wow,
Look at me go.
look at me go.
Don't forget, I'd like you to fix my gun as well, if at all possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a few things to do over this long rest.
Yeah, you
Off to sleepy bye.
you spend some of the time sleeping, of course, and then the rest doing some fixings and such and others.
I'm going to change out one of my infusions too.
I'd like to point out it only took us half an hour to make that decision, which is not bad for us.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And eventually, you are awoken by the sun's rising, which happens fairly late in the morning, but it has been. It's quite late when you went to sleep, so it'll be about 10 a.m. or so when you wake up. The captain possibly did wake up a couple times, got knocked down again. Not doing so great, probably.
Nothing gonna keep her down.
There's a little toy that's going to keep it down. And yeah, in the morning, you are looking for a small uninhabited island, which leads to the navigator rolling a survival check.
I would recommend one that makes it a much longer swim back to a city.
25.
25 is beautiful. You look at the map. It's not very specific about locations. You've got some local maps and things which aren't super helpful. And of course, you've got your telescope and things and such like that. In fact, I think you have your one that gives you the proper, like...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's only within... It's not within a huge area. But anyway,
like
the
3
point is-
miles.
Yeah, the point is, you're a couple hours out from at the edge anyway. There is, within about an hour's sail east, away from land, there's a couple of just like small islands. Not a large inhabited collection of any kind. Larger than just your classic image of a mound of sand with a single palm tree, but still, just a big rocky island with nothing much potentially on there. Maybe some food, who knows.
I'm going to put together a supply bag of 2-3 days worth of food.
Sure.
And then we'll drag her up onto the deck.
Well, Ozzy will drag her up onto the deck.
I say we, the royal we.
Yeah.
Captain, we're going to leave you here. I strongly recommend that you rethink your life of slavery. Become an honest pirate.
Pot kettle.
What was your name, by the way? We never actually found out.
Oh, yeah, fair point.
Guess you'll never find out, will you?
Wait, why are we keeping her alive?
You agreed to it yesterday, Neffy.
Did I?
Yeah.
You did.
Because your captain has some sense of morals, even though he murders people and steals things.
I didn't murder anybody.
Technically, he doesn't really murder people. We do.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
dragon
right.
does.
I tried
Yeah.
to, but my gun didn't work.
Yeah, Pumpkin's pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, and you're better than me somehow when I have a dragon that I've trained to not kill. But, whatever.
Oh, I never said I was better than you at all.
He keeps saying it.
Yeah, well, he's...
I never said I was better than you. We have our faults.
So you're going to stay on the island.
I think I'm better than you. You're about to be left on an island with nothing.
I mean, I don't like get slaves or anything, but hey, I do kill people.
Oh, you're just a saint.
No, I never said I was a saint at all.
Captain, I think this conversation is redundant. Let's just say we both have faults. We won this particular battle. Perhaps we'll meet again.
Oh my god, get on with it. Put me on the island.
And you are now going to go on the island. Here's some food.
As I'm hoisting her up, I'm just going to, because she's still tied up, just going to take a look in the inside of her clothes. I'm pretty sure we have already checked her for whatever. I'm going to look for labels. Has she written her name on any of her clothes?
No, she hasn't written her name on any clothes.
No, damn it. All right, well, thank you, Captain Hollister. It was pleasure meeting you and defeating you in battle.
I mean, defeating, yes. Meeting you, no.
God,
Captain, we may meet again. We'll see. In the meantime,
I hope not.
good luck. Yes, I have to say I hope the same. And I do hope that your dragon comes back to you.
So I will hold her. I will jump off the side of the ship, sink to the bottom, and walk to the island with her. And presume that she doesn't drown along the way.
Just give her a little. Ooh, I reckon by the time you get out, she's fallen unconscious.
Their rowboat, so
she's unconscious by the time you get out the other end.
Yeah, what do I do? Because the captain wanted her alive, and she is alive. Would I? Is she unconscious but stable, or is she 50-50? She might die.
You'd have to do a medical check.
Well, I don't want to actively kill her. I'll take out my talkstone and call the captain.
Ozzy, yes.
Hi, Captain. I'm waving it. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Hi,
I didn't see how that happened.
Well, I jumped off the side of the ship with her and then I walked.
Yeah.
So she's breathing, but I was a bit unsure because you said that you wanted to alive, but it was kind of just leaving it to the fate. So should I make sure she's alive before we go?
Yes.
Or make sure she doesn't die rather? Because she is currently alive.
If you could make sure she hasn't drowned on the way over, that would be nice.
Right, got it. Thanks, Captain.
Thank you, Ozzy.
I will tether to life the captain.
I don't know what that is.
Spare the dying.
Cool.
So she is stable, but
yep.
Presumably still unconscious.
As you do that, it just draws some water out of her lungs.
Gross.
Do you untie her or are you leaving her tied up? Dropping a pack next to her.
I'm going to give her another bash on the head just to make sure that she is unconscious and not now faking. Then I'll untie her so that we retain the rope. Retether her to life. And then get back in the ocean and walk towards the boat and then swim up to the surface and climb back up.
Alright.
Captain, we should have stolen the rowboat that they had. That would have been great for stuff like this.
We should. That is correct.
I'm not sure where you would have put it.
Didn't it get blown up and charred by all the fire that she was standing right there?
Oh no, we didn't check really, did we?
It was.
We could have. Well, it doesn't matter. It's gone now anyway. Right, let's head back to home and get this poor slave girl back to where she came from.
Oh yeah, her name is. She's named after a city. Her name is Paris or something like that. I don't remember.
The slave, yes, you know her as Veluna Merrington Heston Vergame.
Veluna what?
Veluna Merrington Heston Vergame.
Okay. That's a great name.
And the others are called Itsy Bitsy and
Ditsy.
Teeny
Ditsy.
Inky Blinky. Stinky and Clyde.
Yes, we'll head back to wherever the hell we came from.
Cell.
It'll take a few hours of sailing. Probably be past midday. You'll have had your lunch and such by the time you get back to the port of Cell.
While we're doing that, Alex, sorry to interrupt. I'll just have been making sure that none of the passengers are doing anything suspicious.
Give me I guess a perception for whilst you're traversing.
19.
You don't see anything suspicious. More than anything, they seem relieved, enjoying, not being in a cage. It's quite nice. The sun's up in the sky, and that. They aren't, hugely interactive with you as a crew, but are happy to have a little chat if necessary, not particularly opening up to who they are or any of that. But none of them do anything suspicious, trying to get where they shouldn't be, stealing what they don't own, any of that kind of stuff.
Excellent stuff.
Yes, eventually you get into the Port of Sel. Now, you would be very aware that the Port of Sel is one that you do have to sign a ledger. Some guards and things will be at the docks, just sort of tracking who's coming in and such. But you have your paperwork, your cargo ship paperwork for the
very
Triant.
genuine paperwork with the genuine signature on the genuine bottom.
Well, as it currently happens, yes, you just show the paperwork of what you are. You would say, just to skip over there, you would say that you're not currently, you're bringing anything into the city. You've just got your crew and some people. It's up to you what you tell the slaves that you brought in as to whether or not they say anything, because obviously it would get you in trouble if you're aware, if it becomes aware that you saved people, because that's an adventure and adventures aren't allowed. But no one's asking the questions if.
Yeah, we would say to the ex-slaves before they leave the ship, don't tell anybody, you don't want to get into any trouble, just go away, have rich and happy lives.
They seem happy with that. I mean, their other option is be slaves, so, they all walk off with you, all but one of them off into the city to do their own thing. And you're on the port
with us.
of Sel. On the port of Sel. Port is like the river sort of docks, but it's a big port of its own. Maybe a couple hours away from the Hurricane, which is, of course, the tavern owned by W that you got the mission from originally. But it's your choice as to what you do.
Oh, yeah. Head back to the tavern and take the girl with us.
Wonderful. Unless anyone else wanted to do anything else first.
I just want to cover up my bases now. I did a few things over that long rest.
Okay.
I fixed the gun. I brought Basil back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed out one of my infusions.
Sure.
I switched my Ring of Knowledge to an animated glove, so Pesto's now wearing 2 big gloves.
Cool.
Instead of just the one.
Sounds wonderful.
I switched over some spells on my long rest. So I can now, would let you know, Monty, I can now sever your connection with the cursed item if you should so choose. I would also have recommended that we use some of our loot either from the ship or as part of our payment to go buy some diamonds so that I can keep you all alive if you should happen to die.
That would be extremely useful.
Yes, I believe you already have 1 diamond, but more can
I have a diamond worth 100, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I need at least 1 diamond. Well, I need basically 300 golds worth of diamonds.
I got 3,000 in my pocket. Well, in the bag of holding.
How much did we get from the ship that we sacked?
About 2,000.
You were tracking
Yeah,
that
I don't remember
right?
exactly, but it was about that.
I just put it into my gold.
You got supplies. You refilled up your ship supplies so that to fix the ship and such, and got some gold and things. So you have no need to buy any more wood or lumber or anything for fixing the future, fixing the ship in the future. Wonderful. So you head on over to the Hurricane,
and we will buy some diamonds.
Well, I'll give you a list of shops and things after, so you can sort of make some decisions.
When you say you can sever my connection to the this blade, I presume what you mean is that I become, what's the word?
Unattuned.
Unattuned, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's one way of putting it.
So I want to make sure I understand. Yeah.
I can't make the thing itself uncursed, but I can uncurse you by severing your connection to the curse.
I'm with you. I think in this particular case, I will ask you if you wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, I've had to do it a few times, so I don't even have to chop off your fingers or anything to do it now.
Well, that's very good news and something I wish you'd mentioned before, but that's fine.
So should I take our friend and save them for my mom then?
Save them from... Oh!
You want to give your mom a cursed weapon?
Yeah.
Why?
She likes sentient things.
Fair enough.
If you like, yes. I was going to...
Does she live in the city?
No, she lives on the other continent, but just outside of Moonhaven.
Well, if you really
I don't know where
I,
that is.
I was going to sell it, but I'm perfectly happy to give it to you to give it to
Yeah, I'd rather not
Mhm.
sell it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we could make use of it in the meantime then.
Yeah, if y'all don't mind hearing them chat.
I mean, I got nothing against it.
I can keep it for the moment then, and we'll just sever the connection later.
Alrighty.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you don't want to use it, Captain, I can sever it from you and someone else can use it if you want.
Anybody want to use it? Anybody any good with rapiers?
I can stab people. Nifty, I believe you seem suited to it as well.
Sure.
Would you like
it
to
uses dexterity, and I'm assuming you have a lot of that.
I do have a bit of it.
have?
There you go.
She has
Well, it's
less than
just-
you might think.
She has no
It's
idea
just
what
up
her
to you.
character is.
Look, I'm getting used to not using D&D Beyond that tells me everything.
I have the same problem. Exactly the same problem.
Like, I'm happy to use it.
You use it. I'm better off with my meat cleavers.
Bessie and Messy.
Yeah.
Right?
In that case, yes. If you wouldn't mind severing my connection then, and I'll reattune to my cards.
Right. Okay. If you could hold the sword then, please, Captain. So that we're not, like, transferring it onto that weapon that you're fond of, like your gun thing.
I'm holding the cursed rapier. Hello.
Yep. Oh, God, here I go again.
Hello, Blade. I'm afraid we're going to part company now, but it's been nice.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible situation. Oh, gosh, I'm so upset. You can tell from my face, I'm sure.
If I could see your face, I'd know you were lying, I'm sure. But carry on.
Right. I'm going to place my hand on your shoulder, Captain, and one hand on the blade. And I'm going to need you to repeat after me, Captain.
Right you are.
And he'll just mumble some mumbo jumbo that doesn't mean anything, but he thinks is like the spell to do it as he expresses his magical energy.
Expresses his magical energy.
Yeah. And I will sever cursed connection.
Remove curse.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay, I like that.
The sword falls silent.
Jolly good, thank you. I mean, I sort of miss it in a way, but not very much. Here you go.
I mean, you can have it back if you want.
No, that's perfectly okay. It's all yours.
Right. Pesto, will you just like write a note or something that this is just on loan from your mum, or until we go and find her or meet her somewhere?
Sure.
And my pepperbox pistol is fixed, and now I can
It
use
is.
it.
Yes, you somehow managed to get the slide backwards and jammed it in place. But yes, it's all shiny. It's been cleaned a little bit as well, I'm sure.
You're very, very kind. Thank you.
Anytime.
Just don't roll a natural one again.
I didn't roll it last time.
You did in spirit.
I mean, I probably would have done.
You walk across town, get to the Hurricane. It's afternoon time by the time you get there, so it's probably not super busy, but there's a few people milling around. As soon as you walk in, W says, of course. Yeah,
W,
this
nice to see you.
this way. Leads you downstairs and sits you down in the office. Says, well, as you're all coming in, he's taking a seat, got a little cigar, I'm sure. Says, well, I want to say congratulations. I of course brought the ex-slave in as well.
Yes, I guessed.
Yes, I mean, I must admit, I'm impressed by the efficiency. Most crews take a much longer time to get things done. Some of them like to buffle around and just take their time. But no, it's very impressive. As promised, payment. She grabs a little sack, goes through a couple files, looks at a thing, opens a drawer, pulls out a sack. Clonk. It's 450 platinum. You're welcome to, of course, count that if you wish.
I will.
I'm working on another mission that you could do. Details aren't finalized as of yet, so my best suggestion: just get some rest, look around the town, do what you do, and then whenever you feel like it, pop on back. Oh, and before I forget, of course, rifles through another couple of things, pulls out some papers. Your paperwork. the cargo that you transported to me today.
Ah, that's very, very kind. Thank you very much.
Useful documentation on that.
One thing I wanted to mention to you as well, in our, I hesitate to say adventure, our exciting little trip we had. Excursion. Good word, very good word. Yes, the captain of the ship which was holding this young lady against her will, is still alive, and she had a red dragon thingy. Anyway, long story short, we've abandoned her on a little island, but if she does turn up again asking after us, I'd be grateful if you didn't mention where we are, because I don't think she's very well disposed towards us at the moment.
Right.
Just so you know, I imagine the information is useful in your line of business.
I'm not really one for selling information. I'm one for providing services to those that need them faster than the Adventurers Guild can get to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
No particular allegiance to those who pay me money.
Good.
Threaten my life.
Yeah, well, exactly. So if you do happen to see a small dwarvish lady, red dragon, calm this up. Don't tell her where we are.
Besides, all the details of this mission, they'll be destroyed as soon as you leave.
Glad to hear it.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask or clarify just before all of it gets destroyed? Other than cargo manifests, obviously.
This young lady, who is she?
Not part of the deal. And to be honest, mostly with myself, I don't know. I know where she's going after this. Don't worry, you'll be safe hands and all. To her father, of course. And from there, I'll take payment. And that's all I know.
That's fine.
Would this ledger from their ship be of any use to you?
If I may. She puts out a hand to take it from you and reads through as well. Not particularly, unless the ship in question is still afloat.
Yeah,
No, I sank that bitch.
Not entirely. No.
Well, I mean, it depends. I'm not going to buy it off you, but if you're willing to leave it here, I'll help. I'm sure I can try something along with it.
Look to the captain.
Why not? Gesture of good faith.
Wonderful. I mean, don't guarantee anything. A lot of this is very cryptic. I might be able to follow some of these dates and potentially see if anyone wants to, pay services for an adventure or an excursion, but it's doubtful. This line of business, the less written down, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better in your hands than ours.
Exactly. We certainly have no use for it.
Yes, well, that's all I've got for you, I'm afraid.
Roger. Well, that's very decent of you. We'll head off then. Pop back in, shall we say, 2 days, 3 days?
Yeah, a couple of days. I mean, to be honest, it won't take me very long. I'm sure whenever you pop back, I'll have something for you.
Right. Perhaps tomorrow evening then. What is it? It's just on the lunch.
Afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps tomorrow evening we'll pop back in, just see what's going on.
Wonderful.
Right. Best of luck with whatever you're doing then. See you soon.
Yes.
And goodbye, young lady. I hope you get home safely.
She gives a little nod. Thank you.
And be careful who you talk to in the future.
Oh, it wasn't who I spoke to. I was stolen in the night.
Well, try not to get stolen again.
Just don't do that.
Whatever it was that happened last time, don't do that thing. Okay?
Yeah, maybe see if someone can teach you how to use a knife or something.
That's actually not a bad idea for a change.
Oh, do you want a glaive?
There's never a bad time to have a knife fight.
Do you want to? I can put my hands on a sword, which will really annoy you eventually.
Just punch people.
Just looking kind of baffled at all of you.
Aim for the nads.
What my friends are trying to suggest is that you learn how to defend.
Aim for the throat.
Learn how to defend yourself. Your father will probably be able to employ someone to teach you.
Yeah.
If you can do magic and incinerate people, that's also a really good way to go.
Yes. So some of the suggestions you just heard better than others. Right. See you then.
Bye.
Good luck.
Woo!
Ta-ra, old chap.
We'll forget you. Bye.
Yeah. See you, W. We'll be back in a day or so. Bye.
And off you head. You're currently
it only
standing.
took us an hour to get
Exactly.
to get the woman that we had on the boat to the destination.
For us, that is speed running. Okay.
So, you're currently standing in the Old Quarter, which is a fairly large area, and there are shops as follows. I will give you the proper names of them if you want to go to them, but I'll just give you what they are first, in case any of them pique your fancy. You have an antique shop, a curiosity shop, a potion shop, a bookstore, an oddities shop, a tavern, a second tavern to the Hurricane, a tailor, a blacksmith, a magic shop, a general store, and a clockmaker.
Something I should have mentioned earlier, by the way, is at this point I am now wearing my mask again. I've got my captainy clothes on again, and I currently look like
A centaur.
Oh.
What?
Yes, because it was past midnight. You're a centaur.
No, not anymore.
Yes, you are.
I thought it was when I slept.
No, it was at midnight.
Oh, okay. So I'm still a centaur then.
Yes, which to Redcorn he would have said, why is there a centaur in here? Would have recognised the rest of you. Where's the captain that you used to have?
Oh, that's him.
It's me, Archip. Don't you recognise the face?
No, but I recognise that voice anywhere.
And the mask.
Taste of home and all.
Yes.
Well,
How
anyone
about
would wear a
sort of
mask.
bit of a sort of condition thing where I get a little bit larger sometimes?
Don't tell me more. This is more information than someone like me wants to know.
We are M, right? No, are you M or are we M?
Do whatever you tell me to call you.
We're M.
The
I think
captain's
that's
M.
what we said we are.
We are one is we.
You're
I'm
Salsa.
I'm M and he's S.
Captain's M.
W, I mean, not S. Right. So
Okay, that curiosity shop sounds like a lot of fun. I like
got a
curious
question.
things.
What's the difference between a curiosity shop and an oddity shop?
Do we have both of them here?
Yep.
One's
Oh.
curious, the other one's odd.
Maybe they're like sister shops
We
or
could go
brother
inside.
shops. I don't know the genders.
Go inside and have a look. Ow.
Are these all oversell, or are these the ones
These
nearby
are
in the
just-
Old Quarter?
These are just the Old Quarter.
Okay.
The whole of Cell is fairly large. It would take an hour and a half to walk across the whole thing. So
Can I check out all of them?
No, I mean it'll take a while, but there's different places you can go.
I'm quite interested in the antique shop.
I'm quite interested in the curiosity, oddity, antique, and
Hey,
magic shop.
let's
Same here.
let's cancel stuff out first. I'm gonna go down it, and if anyone is interested in a shop, say yes. If no one is interested, then we will not bother. Okay?
Okay.
Clockmaker,
Yeah.
general store, magic shop,
Yeah.
blacksmith, tailor, tavern, the last mug, oddities shop,
Yeah.
bookstore,
Maybe. Yeah.
potion shop, curiosity shop,
Yep.
Yeah.
antique shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to all of them but 6.
We have a day and a half to do it, so.
Shopping episode.
Already a shopping episode.
I will say we have not covered how we are splitting any loot or profit or whatever.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of the money for now. At least the money that we've picked up so far in the campaign. Anything that you guys had going in, I don't have track
I
of.
don't really have nothing much. I mean,
I
we
have
could.
4.
What have I got?
Right now in group money, we have about 7,500 gold.
Other equipment pouch. Treasure. Here we go. Oh, I've got 300 gold. I'm rich.
There you go.
Right.
300 gold here. That's not a lot.
What?
But 7,500,
Normally,
we
I
could
start
get a
with
very fancy fork.
that. We could.
Yeah. You'd also be aware that you will need to obviously buy things for your supplies and such.
Well,
so it's good to have
exactly.
some money.
No,
But
well, we just
You wanna blow it all, you
refreshed
do.
our supplies. We just
did?
did that.
you
yeah.
did. So you could just do that every
Well,
time, obviously.
Yes.
So Pesto, if we hadn't just sunk a ship and stolen all their supplies, how much would it normally cost us? Do you think to replenish after an ordinary
Like a
day?
full replenish?
Well, yeah. Why not full replenish?
A full replenish. Yes.
Just
A
so I
Full
know how much.
replenish is quite costly. I did look at
It's-
it the other day, but I don't have my book with me. It's in the ledger.
It's 1 gold per health store for
Didn't
the
you
ship.
just-
So it would
Did you
cost
give away
about.
the ledger?
No, that was the ledger for the other ship. I have our own ledger.
Oh, okay.
It would cost about 3,300
for
gold
just
to
the,
reach.
just the
to-
ship repairs.
Yeah, to fully replace our ship repair supplies.
And then food, cannonballs, all those sorts
I
of
assume
things would
Niffy's
be
keeping track of that.
all those sorts of things would be another full replenish would be another 1,000 or so.
So we could start from scratch and completely replenish for about 4,500.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to assume that we don't need to do that because we're not going to be waiting that long. But we do need to...
I think it'll take a fair amount of time to run out of our repair supplies. Since if we get to below half, I can just repair, I can just mend that magically. So this supply should go down pretty slowly unless we get into a lot of consecutive fights and are unable to return to land.
So shall we say that we should set aside 1,500
to save
as a sort of as an emergency fund to get by supplies in case we don't manage to get any money anywhere else.
Sure.
Which gives us, how much did you say we got at the moment?
That leaves us with 6,000.
Yes.
So 6,000. I suppose what we should do to be fair is just divide it between ourselves. So 5 of us, 6,000. That's 1,000.
Do we all want to keep track of it, or should I just keep tracking it?
Who's the 5th person?
1, 2, 3.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, yeah.
Pumpkin. No, 4 people.
Pumpkin snack funds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you need Pumpkin on the ship?
Doesn't that come out of Niffy's?
No, Pumpkin be with us.
Pumpkin's with you?
Pumpkin's not a crew member. Pumpkin's your pet.
Pumpkin is a crew member, thank you very much. They paid their dues, okay?
Pumpkin is a crew member, but doesn't get a full share, I'm afraid. Because
what about my toys and Olive? That's another 4 members. So we need to divide it 9 ways.
I think if you want to have people with you, then that's your responsibility. And
Ozzy's got a sentient sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even shown you guys Bruce yet.
What the hell? Who's Bruce?
Bruce?
Bruce is my pet shark.
Bruce is your pet shark.
I've got a new friend too, and my glove will fly off my hand and wave. So that's like...
Oh, I can do that too, and I'll separate my hand at the wrist and then I'll reattach it.
Okay, fine. We'll just split the money 4 ways.
Okay.
Which is 1,500 each.
I'm going to keep tracking all of it, but let's just keep that in mind if we're looking at specific things.
So we are, let us say, around about 1,500 each. I'm sure if there's some super duper thing which one of us wants, we can all put towards it and get that money back later. We are a team after all.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you surprised that I had Pumpkin with us?
Because he's a full dragon?
He's a horse. Well, because you keep it activated all the time, don't you? So he's a horse-sized dragon roaming around the streets of a city of people not expecting to see... Sorry, a dog-sized...
It's not dog-sized? What are you talking about? It's a medium-sized creature.
He's a horse, I know.
So he's a Great Dane-sized dragon.
There we go.
There you go. So that's the halfway point between a dog and a horse. He's a Great Dane-sized dragon roaming around the city of people not expecting to see a Great Dane-sized dragon. Hence, they will all be running screaming from us.
Where you're trying desperately to not be adventurers or be noticed by guards.
Yeah, okay, I won't have...
That's why I was so surprised when you said that Pumpkin's with you. Like, on
Pumpkin
Metrocool.
comes everywhere with me.
Metrocool,
maybe not
a problem. out in the wilds, not a problem. Middle of a city.
She's not that stupid.
Niffy's the last one about to leave the boat. We all turn around and look back at her and like...
That is his function. He's Bosun's deputy. He's our guard dog for when we're not on the ship.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
We'd all be leaving, and like Niffy goes step on the plank, and then like you just hear it groan even more because Pumpkin's trying to step on it as well. And we're like, no, stay, Pumpkin. Stay.
I'm sure every single time you get the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll deputize him. We'll ask Pesto to make him a little like sheriff's badge that says Deputy Bosun.
Yes.
Right. So,
first up, Clockmaker.
We wanted to go to the Clockmaker. It is a place called the Silent Clock.
Mm-hmm. Ah, the silent cock, I see.
You see, I paused, so I thought someone will make a cock joke, and then no one did, and I was about to. I was about to be so proud of you all. Just about to be so proud of you all.
You left room, like, I thought you were, like, leaving room for it to happen because you wanted it to.
No, I just expect it to.
I got to admit, I didn't even think about it.
The shop's exterior is a narrow, charming storefront with a large clock above the door, which is working. It's ticking, you can hear as you approach.
With 2 barrels on the front.
Wait, it's ticking?
It is a clock, yes.
Yeah, but the place is called the Silent Clock. What a terrible advertisement.
I'm sorry, Alex. You knew it was going to happen. I'm sorry.
It's
No,
not
it's
a
fine.
judgment on you. It is a judgment on the shopkeeper.
I've mostly just like assumed that everything I make for you guys will be mocked. You know how many shops I've made.
But we love it. But we love it is the thing.
Yeah, there's like 15 shops for every single quarter, of which there are 5 for this entire city. So don't worry about it. Make fun of every single one. Inside, hundreds of ticking clocks of various shapes and sizes cover every inch of wall space. No, it's not particularly loud. There are lots of clocks all around. Imagine somewhat. I don't know. I can't name a film, but there's always a film which has someone who has clocks all over the walls, and there's just lots of different shapes and sizes. Some bigger ones, some grandfather clocks, grandmother clocks, those sorts of things around.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
There you go. And there is a.
One might even say Back to the Future 2.
A glass desk. Like what would you call it?
Display case.
It's a display case, but the thing that the owner of the shop stands behind to sell you things.
A counter?
Counter. That is the word I'm looking for. There's a glass counter with various wristwatches and pocket watches and things underneath.
Is there an Irish wristwatch?
There is not an Irish wristwatch. There is, however, standing behind it, a goblin, looking fairly old. Not the kind of old, crouched over, doesn't know what's going on, but a little bit of wispy grey hair, bit of a wispy beard as well, half moon spectacles on the face, who mostly leaves you to yourself as you walk in, unless you go over to them.
No.
Do any of these clocks or watches seem to be anything other or more than clocks or watches? At
your first glance, no. You are welcome to do, arcanas or stuff, or talk to the person at the front, but it doesn't appear to initially.
Niff will probably just go around tapping each clock for the fun of it.
As you start to go around tapping the clocks, you hear a little voice. It's a quiet one from behind the counter that says, "I prefer if you didn't go around tapping all the clocks. They're handcrafted, all of them."
They're very beautiful. I'm just seeing whether they would survive the tapping of the ship.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about, but if you could leave them alone unless you're planning on buying them, that would be lovely.
Okay.
Is there any way I can help you?
I want to buy one. A pocket watch.
A pocket watch? Well, we've got lots here.
I know.
What kind of things are you looking for? We've got, for a fella of your size, I assume something smaller, though I won't assume. Some people like a big pocket watch. On a chain.
Some people love a huge clock.
Yeah, you love them big spinach, don't you?
I'm uncomfortable. Do you have an HR department here?
I don't, but I can ask them to leave if you'd like.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, if everyone could leave who's making penis jokes, that would be wonderful.
I was on about a clock.
Does that happen a lot here?
No, I mean, I've got ones that are fancier. I etch, things into them. I can custom put a name into it if you wish. The clock faces themselves. You have separate dials. Some will track the movement of the suns. Some will track
movement of
the dates
sun.
and such like that. It's just really up to you. And of course, if you wanted, we can go for a custom one. It takes a little longer for me to put it together, depending on what you want. Bit more costly. I don't know what budget you're looking at here, but
I love like a multi-tool type of watch, like you were describing, the multiple knobs. That'd be great, something like that. And if there's one that's like dials, and then one with like
dials is way better than knobs.
Yeah, and if there's one that has like a orange gem in it or something like that, or like draconic decorations on it, that'd be cool. That'd fit my whole vibe.
Well, you've described a few things. I mean, what you're describing very specifically would have to be custom. I've got some that have draconic design. Plenty of them, of course. I can put the internals of one with multiple dials and faces, depending on what you want inside the cases. I tend not to put jewels in them, but it's something I can do if you wanted that custom. They don't sit well with the mechanics. Well, I tell you what, though, if you wanted it custom, I could adjust one of them. Just a tiny little jewel could go in the middle of the hands.
That's okay. This is my first watch, so I don't need anything custom just yet. But the draconic designs that you were talking about.
Well, we've got a few. If you come on over here, there's a little step stool over there. If you just want to lean over.
Yeah.
I appreciate, I have to. I'm standing on a step stool right now. Don't laugh. It's rude.
Sorry, I thought it was... I don't know what to do. It was awkward. I don't know.
Right, well, I've got... puts on a pair of white gloves and gets 3. We've got these 2 here, which is 2 gold-coloured watches. One is a bit more of a darker gold than the other. The darker gold one is etched with scales on the face of the pocket watch. I don't know the terminology for a pocket watch, but the bit that opens and closes, so that like the door, I'll call it, has scales on it. It's fairly simple, all in all. It has a chain attached, nothing too fancy. The second one, there's a brighter, shinier gold, has an image of a dragon going around that door, like around the edge of the door, like a long, almost as to reference our own Chinese style dragon going around the outside. And then you can see some non-specific kind of designs that are around the edge of the actual pocket watch itself. And then there's a silver one, which has quite a nicely and intricately designed dragon kind of front on. It doesn't look derpy or anything. It's quite nicely crafted.
Doesn't look like pumpkin then.
No, it's more like forwards and slightly tilted down. So you've got quite a nice little dragon on it. Puts those out. So those 3 are the dragon-like cases we have. Of course, we can talk about the internals after.
I love this one with the dragon going around the side of it.
Yeah, that one was made of gold, so that case in itself would be at 300 gold, and then the internals obviously a separate cost.
Oh yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, depends on what internals you like. I go from simple stuff all the way up to what people would call master craftsman. Again, it depends on what you're looking for.
What kind of internals options are there?
Well, in terms of function, that's more what we'll be looking for. But then smoothness, some people like to, they like to be able to hear the tick. Some people don't want to be able to hear the tick. Some people like it to be a smooth movement rather than a tick. They all cost different amounts. You said you wanted different dials on. I've got a few of those, so it depends on what dials you're looking for.
Like a stopwatch one would be useful.
Certainly, we can get a stopwatch hand.
I do like the ticking, so I definitely want it nice and clear, crystal clear.
Like a sharp tick, yeah?
Yeah.
And then dials, I can put on, like I said, tracking the sun. We can have one that's tracks the dates, day of the week, month, all 3.
Yeah, let's do all of those.
Sure, yeah, we can add those in. Well, all of that, I reckon I've probably got one that is similar to that in the back. So if you give me a second, but I would say, considering the case you're buying, we could do the whole thing for, let's say, 400 gold.
Alrighty, sounds good to me.
Wonderful. I'll just go get that and just hops down and goes through a back door.
Start counting up my gold.
Puts away the all the cases and stuff first. Takes away the case that you've asked for.
Through this conversation, I would have spoken to the captain. Who said about don't worry, Captain. I don't know how superstitious you are, because I know ticking clocks and captains is generally thought of as ill luck. But I once heard about this captain he was like a human, and he was always being followed around by this giant alligator who had eaten like just a shitload of clocks, and it was the same alligator that like bitten this guy's hand off. So I just thought, don't be too scared in here.
Captain Claw.
Well, it's very Captain Claw. It's very kind of you to be concerned, but I'm not particularly worried. But thank you for the thought. It's very kind.
And then, wanders back through, hops back up,
You see the captain sitting in the corner going,
presents to you in a lovely, like, what looks like a big ring box, opens it up. It's on a lovely sort of velvet background, chain coiled around. He says, right, it's all in there, wound up and everything for you.
Lovely.
Give it a wind maybe once a week and you'll be fine. Wind it until you feel just a little bit of resistance and you'll be fine. No need to put any extra pressure. It damages the internals. With all of this, I'll give you, about 6 months. You're welcome to come back at any point if it's broken, from its own mechanics rather than dropping it or anything, and I'm happy to fix it up. Although if you drop it and things break, I can give you a hand. Won't cost as much as if you bought it somewhere else.
All right, thank you.
Well, that should be everything. Just takes in the money, puts it away, and says, and also I've included just under there, you see a little cloth if you want to polish it up.
Oh, hell yeah, thank you. It's
Yeah,
nice
take
doing
good care.
you. It's Pesto.
It's good luck in XT to name your pocket watch.
Ooh, okay. All right. Hold on. I have a spreadsheet for this. I don't have a spreadsheet.
What's a spreadsheet?
It's a special sheet that I keep in our ledger.
You just keep unfolding a piece of paper until it's huge.
call it Albinoni.
No.
Albinoni.
No.
Is it a clock with like a ring at the end so that you can put like a chain on it? Because then you could call it Albert.
Call it Parmesan.
I was saving that name for another toy.
Wow.
Saving
Albert for a different
Oh wait,
toy.
no, that's your name.
I'll call it Spinach.
That's your name.
No, it's not, and you're gonna stop using it.
You will always be spinach to me.
Wonderful. You may want to write down the description at some point of what's on there, like it tells you the positions of the suns and stuff. Or basically the time of day and all that. But it has a lovely face to it. Very nicely crafted. The numbers are obviously hand painted, but all perfect. It has a stopwatch function, of course, where you can click the top and a second hand, not the second hand, goes around counting the minutes. Yeah, it has a lovely crisp tick to it as you requested. Not too loud. Once it's in your pocket, you can't really hear it, but if you take it out, it has a lovely click to it. And it's very well crafted. Very, very well crafted.
Your TikTok addiction is spilling over into other areas.
Oh, sorry, it was just banned.
No.
Oh, it's okay. You can have it again.
Yay!
You can thank me for it. You can thank me for that.
Hey, Pesto, why is this watch sending all of your information to the government of Cougaron? It's weird, isn't it?
Anything similar? Anything you see depicted in this podcast similar to real life is not directly correlated.
Every time the second hand gets around to the top, like the face gets replaced with an ad, and you have to, watch that.
Unless you pay extra money each month for it.
Yeah, and then you get less ads, but not no ads.
Yeah. Sometimes it's an ad for a game, but it's not actually the gameplay that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Right, the next one on the list, Alex, was the magic shop.
The magic shop. The Forgotten Rune. A faded stone archway leads into the shop with strange symbols carved into the doorway, glowing faintly. Inside, the walls are covered with enchanted shelves. Not enchanted in the sense of they're actually magical, just the whole shop is enchanting and whimsical, each holding, tomes, crystals, items. Your classic inside of a magic shop with all sorts of items that you assume have magical power. Standing behind, or in the corner behind a little counter,
How could it be forgotten if we found it?
A Goliath. Very large, 7'5", wearing smart shirt and trousers, runic tattoos all over, apart from the left arm, because it is in fact missing. As you walk in, They seem to appreciate your presence. No one else is in, but they, again, don't disturb you until you potentially come over as you look around some of the things. Some of the things are like little pictures with notes, so like the more expensive stuff just sort of say, you can get this, but it's not all just available on the shelves. Ask at till, like a video game box, but with no disc inside. And is there anything that you have seen that you would fancy?
Oh yeah, but I can't afford them.
As always.
Niffy's not a big fan of shopping, so she's being like the annoying child.
What the fuck?
What?
Purdy character not a big fan of shopping? What?
Yeah, she's not a big fan of shopping, and so she's being the annoying child walk around like doing the, where like you tap your cheeks to make the noises and stuff.
Yeah, and just going every once in a while.
She's just being super fucking annoying.
I would ask the guy at the counter how much they would buy a magical item for that is a torch that never goes out.
Is simple spell. Not worth much.
So, like 200 gold?
We would say closer to maybe 5 copper.
5 copper? You've got scrolls of cantrips here for 40 gold.
Yes. Well, it's a situation where you can, make tons and sell them all to me is unnecessary.
Pulls out a box from under the counter with like 50 pebbles with ghost lights on them.
I wasn't going to make loads of them.
There's no infinite money glitches in here. He's patched out of game.
Cost me resources. Means I can't smack people as hard later.
Hi, what's your name? I'm Pesto.
Hello, Pesto. I am Memoratis. Is there anything you would like? I am also happy to make purchases of things that you have under analysis.
What about a crewmate? Can I sell a crewmate for?
I do not buy people. Slaving is illegal.
Wish everybody else knew that.
Yeah.
Well, there are many people in this world who appear to break the laws, but hopefully the adventurers can deal with it.
Certainly wouldn't be us. Yeah, wouldn't be us.
God, no, we don't know.
How much would an extra protective shield get me? Like something that's just like a little bit more protective than usual? Like it gives you a +1 if we were to be...
You would probably buy a few for 1,000 gold. Yeah, depending on quality and whether or not he's cursed.
I assume you're only interested in buying magical items and artifacts, not necessarily mundane ones.
Yeah,
right?
Usually.
Okay.
Sometimes I will buy things that have a lot of potential to be enchanted, but unlikely.
And how about potions?
I will sometimes come across them if they are unique, but there is a potion shop for this.
Okay.
It is cross-conflict. We work together.
How do you tell if something's cursed?
There is a spell for this.
There is?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I should learn that. What's it called?
It is a detect curse.
Shit.
Whoa. Is this like a shop owner exclusive spell?
Oh, yeah, it's a spell no adventurer ever has access to.
No, exactly. It's difficult to have lots of equipment. A very large machine.
So it's not a spell. It's you've got a box that tells you.
Sorry, it's language difference.
Okay, so I have a potion of stone. Not stone skin. I want to be very clear and direct with you. This is a potion of stone.
I do not know potion of stone.
It turns you to stone for an hour, for a few hours, up to 4.
It's closer to poison, it seems. But
yeah.
Magical in nature, I would
possibly
go to potion shop.
Okay.
It's interesting, but
I can.
I'm not sure I could sell this.
I'm not sure I could use it, so that's why I was asking.
You could potentially use as poison if you wanted to.
We are upstanding citizens. We would never do that.
I am assuming if you're in the shop, then you are adventurers.
Oh yes, of course. You can tell by my drone.
Yes, your drone, of course, floating behind you,
Mm-hmm.
which you remember to bring with you.
Yeah, of course. When we go into normal people
Your
towns, of course.
your pal looks as though it has seen better days.
We just got back from a trip, so.
Fair enough. Well, is there anything you would like to buy?
Me, no. These guys were looking.
How much for the box that tells you if something's cursed?
Oh, you would be looking at around 1 million gold.
Fuck.
It's big investment, but it's worth it for a shop like this.
We can save up for it.
I do not buy, I rent.
Oh, you rented.
Or maybe we could get one installed in the guild.
Well, what about, like, blueprints to build one for the guild?
I do not have the blueprints. You would have to go to a company that makes a machine.
And what are they called?
I do not know. I am not the... I buy it off Rainforest.
Huh?
It's package delivery company.
He's talking about the Amazon rainforest.
God fucking damn it.
Rainforest.
You gotta go over a
off rainforest. I quit.
I heard it's a chef who runs that outfit. I think his name's Chef Bezos.
It'd be Chef Bezos.
Could you go and see if there's like a label on it? Like a little sign, manufactured by in Taiwan or something?
Yeah, but, I'm sure you could find someone who is more... This is more the conversation for a magic shop, not mechanic shop.
Yeah, but you've got one, so I just want to know who it's made by.
I do not know.
Ah, okay, well, where's this rainforest so that we can look at ordering one?
It's up in north, I do not know.
Kugaram. The Kugaramian rainforest, obviously.
Kugaram's more desert. You want a rainforest, you go northeast.
It's a secret rainforest, actually. They keep it under the desert.
Just write that one down. Hidden rainforest under desert.
It would get really condensating.
There's all sorts of secret shit in and from Kugaram. They've got runaway princesses. They've got secret assassins going after their runaway princesses.
They've got secret rainforests under their deserts.
All of these secret things are very well known.
That sounds like Carmathian propaganda, actually. So does anyone want to buy anything here?
Nothing is being bought.
No, I don't think so.
I'm afraid.
To the next place, which was
okay. Goodbye.
The Oddities shop.
Bye, Amaranthus.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. I'm sure we'll be back at some point.
Where next?
Oddities shop.
The Oddities shop, called the Cracked Mirror, which, as per its name, has what appears to be an antique cracked mirror framed by silver filigree as the shop, as sort of the symbol at the storefront. And in the windows, you can see all sorts of bizarre items on display, obviously to catch attention. Different cups, saucers, maybe like the equivalent of like an old jukebox that might work or might not work. Various frames, pictures, things like that. But inside the shop is, you can immediately tell as you walk in, it's completely cramped. These curiosities, trinkets, and everything everywhere.
Wait, they sell curiosities here?
Not exactly. Absolutely piling all of the shelves in boxes, stacked up, all with a little, tag of how much they'd cost on them. You get a feeling some of them might be magical, but barely useful, and things like that. It's very much like in the US, where you have thrift stores for clothes, but I know you have the sort of antique or thrift stores as well, where they just have possibly like that, although not quite small, but just lots of stuff everywhere in this rather small room. And behind the you could just about see behind the counter, far in the back, appears to be a turtle.
Hi, what's your name? I'm Pesto.
You can, from various bits and then say, hello.
Hi.
Feb.
Feb?
Feb,
Like February?
I guess.
What's that?
It's don't fucking worry about it.
No, I've already stated in this universe it's the same month, days, and everything. I ain't fucking with that. Do you see anything you like?
I'm gonna poke around a little bit, see if there is anything that I like.
Okay.
Can I
Careful.
make an
Third shelf on the right, fourth set, little loose, falls over.
Does anything in this store talk to you that's not like normally supposed to talk to you?
Only if you haven't slept in a couple days.
Okay. Can I make an investigation check? Just find something interesting.
Yes. Go for it.
Thank you. 15.
What sort of things are you looking for? Because there's a ton of stuff in here. When you say interesting,
Weird wooden dolls or like really elaborate metal worked objects or like wind up toys or something like that. I don't know, just like real fucking weird.
I think as you're looking around, there's not a lot. There's, a lot of goblets and things like that, which were at one point fine metal, a bit tarnished and things. But one thing that would potentially catch your eye a little bit, sort of sitting further towards the back of a shelf. In fact, probably on quite a low shelf, so it's very far at the back. Most people don't see it. You're at the height to be able to. There's just a little small carved statuette of a halfling, only calling out to you because it looks as though when you pick it up, it looks as though in the back there was a key to wind up the mechanics, but unfortunately there is no key a part of it anymore. But the reason it is interesting is because it just looks like carved wood. You're not really sure what mechanics it would have.
Okay.
The shape of the key at the back is like an odd shape of its own. You potentially, if you took it back, could use tools to sort of force it. You don't have to make your own key, but it's an interesting little thing. Yeah. Just a little thing on it that just says like 4 silver.
Hell yeah. I'll definitely take that up and buy it.
Yeah, it's an odd one, really.
It is.
Not really sure. No key to go with it, I'm afraid.
No worries. I'll figure something out.
Yes.
Lovely. Anyone else find something good?
I'd like to ask if you've got something in stock.
What are you looking for?
Have you got any glass eyes, preferably a matching set?
Ooh, yes. Follow me. Wanders around. 5'5", so probably just a little bit smaller than you. Quite a large shell. Lots of like chips and scratches around it. Middle-aged for a turtle, but obviously worn, tired a little bit, and just sort of wanders around. Yes. Pulls out a little box, like a wooden crate, and it's just filled with glass eyes.
Oh. Right on.
Have a dig through.
So basically any kind of eye that I can think of or describe in here.
Within like some reason, but yeah, that's fine.
And how much per eye?
Like nothing magical. 5 silver.
5 silver.
Unless it's really cool, then it's a gold.
I don't like the inconsistent pricing. That makes me feel like there's something hidden in here that's going to bite me.
It might.
I don't think so. I can't promise that.
Well, I mean, there's a whole spell called Eye Bite, so...
I can't promise that, but only because I switch out what's in boxes every now and again for organization, and who knows if I left something in there.
I hold up my foot and one of those like clacking teeth toy things is latched onto my leg. I found something that bites!
That's where that went. Yes. Takes it off your ankle. Yes,
you.
I'll put this away. Wanders over, chucks it in the box, and you hear a bunch of like... Yes, sorry about that. They get away every now and again. You know how it is.
I'll have a look at different various types of eyes while other people are looking.
Sure. Anything else?
Oh, you wouldn't happen to have any interest in buying like a torch that never goes out?
Not particularly.
No, okay. Just, I thought I'd ask. Seems like something really useful that I never see anywhere, but no one wants to buy one. It's weird.
What are you talking about? The lamps of the streets are all made of those.
Yeah, but that's like government stuff.
Hmm. You, sir, look like you could use a tricorn hat.
Me? I'm wearing a tricorn hat.
You're wearing a bicorn hat.
That's true. I am wearing a bicorn hat. That's true. I had forgotten. I'm wearing a bicorn hat. Well, yes.
Yes.
If you have any sort of captainy hats about, although
Captainy, well, one just walks off. Just goes around a corner.
I'll follow him.
Yes, there's a shelf which has a bunch of different hats. It's like there's this one, which is just like your plain, leather brown tricorn.
Yeah, tricorn.
There's this one, which it looks very fancy when he first brings it out. Blue with this golden edging, and as soon as it gets closer, you realize it's basically equivalent to like a plastic toy hat. So, yes. There's this one, which pulls out. Looks extremely nice. There's a couple little notches. It's obviously a very old hat. A wonderful smooth leather with sort of embossed patterns of like waves along the top of it. But as he flips it over and hands it to you, you can just see there's these little teeth just retract away. Yes. Oh, and there's one back there. Just pulls out another fairly simple one, a much darker sort of black color, with again some like nice-ish edging. Nothing made of gold or anything. Just like a slightly lighter grayish black.
So the one with the teeth, I'm going to give back to him. I wouldn't put your hand inside it if I were you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, just chucks it to the side. As it chucks away, it hits the ground. You hear a little.
Yes, the black one. I'm gonna sort of find something in my pocket, like a pencil or something.
Seems to just be a nice enough hat.
Okay.
Captain, how about these for your mask? And I hold up a pair of those joke glasses with the nose and mustache on them.
You hold it up to your face, and it's got like fake eyeballs inside of the glasses, and just one of them blinks.
Tempting, but I think not on this particular occasion. But thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to try the hat on.
It's a little loose, something you could get adjusted, but it fits fairly smartly. It's nice enough. Yeah, it's just a nice hat, isn't it?
I do like a nice tricorn. How much is this hat?
3 gold.
Why not? Yes, I'll have this out. I'll put
Do you want me to deduct it from the group funds, or
yes,
are you going
yes,
to... Okay.
yes. That'll, thank you very much. That's, what else do I need? Do you have I have a rapier here. Do you have any particularly nice scabbards for rapiers?
Scabbards. Wanders off again. There's a select bunch of scabbards just scattered around for all different types of weapons. You'd be able to find a few. There's nothing too fancy. Some with like golden tops, some nice leather scabbards of different lengths and things, but nothing that's like particularly amazing. They're nice though.
Nah, I won't bother them. Fancy buying a stone that lights up and never goes out?
Yep. Not particularly.
Just checking.
I'm gonna buy a couple of just regular human-esque glass eyes with green irises.
Sure. Just a gold for the 2.
Can I have a look for any fun kitchen gadgets?
What do you imagine to be fun kitchen gadgets? Are we talking normal utensils or something stranger?
Probably stranger.
Can I assist?
You're gonna have to. You're welcome to say. I don't have anything off the top of my head for what would count as a strange kitchen gadget. Surprisingly, I don't.
A random kitchen gadget.
A spatula.
No.
Well, I don't have it. Believe it or not, I don't have a list of everything in the shop. I don't know what you're looking for.
Okay, Alex, I'm just gonna send you this. I'm just gonna send you this. You select from one of these things.
I feel like a strange kitchen gadget in this world would be a milk frother. With like the little whisk thing on the end that spins around really quickly.
There's some good shit here.
You have a D30, don't you, Purdy?
Yes. I have no clue where it is.
That's fine. You find chalks.
I want to do a D30.
You sure you don't want chalks?
No.
What colour chalk?
No, it's not chalk. 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 CHORK.
Yeah.
CHORK. So a mixture between a fork and a.
Right, I'm gonna roll
You
a
guessed
D30.
it right, you get it for free.
I got number 15.
Just 15. See if I can make this fit the world.
That one.
Fits anyway. It's.
A mixture between a fork and a chef's knife for chalk.
Fork and a chopstick.
Oh.
But what you do find is what is described as a stuffed burger press, which appears to be, I assume, two halves where you fill. You basically
do?
you can make a filled burger.
I've got one as well.
That's not weird. That's pretty common.
Mm.
Is it? I've never heard of that shit.
You have a ring. It's got a base plate that can come out, and it's got the presses. And inside of that is a smaller press. So you basically make a well inside your minced beef, or ground beef, I suppose, for Americans. Put cheese or whatever in that, and then you put some more minced beef on the top, and then press it down so that it becomes one big patty.
In fairness, Rowan, I have heard of this 3 times in my life. Once on this list, once from Joe, and once from Purdy, just now.
So true. Purdy,
go.
I want you to know that you were one off the condiment gun.
Oh, I want a condiment gun.
You got a burger press.
Is the condiment gun available as well? Because I want to buy both.
You gotta search for it.
Roll a d20. Roll an investigation.
That's a 19.
You see on a shelf, completely unique to everything else in this shop, a gun. And you're like, the fuck? There's a fucking gun on this shelf. Like, nothing else in this, that's a gun. That's like a pistol. That's straight up just a gun. And you pick it up, and as you pick it up accidentally, it goes off. And then you see the back of Pesto's head. Blood splats out. Oh my god, you panic. But it's actually just ketchup.
Yes.
A ketchup gun. What a brilliant. Yes. I can think of 100 uses for that.
Yeah.
It's like a full revolver.
Ah, yes, useful thing for putting condiments on things aggressively.
Yes, but also you could pretend to shoot somebody, and as long as they knew you were doing it, very useful.
Mm.
The fuck? It's currently unavailable on Amazon.
Ha!
I'm sure there's more than one there that you can find.
You're unable to, of course, because you can see the nib there is bright orange to imply that it is in fact not a real gun.
We can paint that.
Man, I've got a real gun anyway.
Yeah. Good for you.
I don't need a real gun. I need this gun.
Well, it'll cost you 7 gold.
That's fine by me.
Should I take it out of the group fund?
No, I'll pay money.
Okay.
How much for the
The burger press.
yeah. How much is the burger?
9 gold.
How much is that altogether?
16.
I thought you were the one that was good at maths.
Not at like 11:15 at night.
I'm so proud of you guys. You've finished a quest and gone to 3 shops.
Yay!
And already, and more to come.
Are we done in this shop?
I've got my tricorn hat, so I'm
Yep.
happy.
Go to the bookstore. That was next.
Sure, but
Of course, I can't wear the tricorn hat
Why not?
because I need to wear my what's it called? Thing weave clothing. What's it called?
Shift week.
Shift weave.
Shift weave. Yeah. Otherwise, it won't change shape when I wake up in the morning. But I can hang it on my wall. I'm gonna hang it on the back of my chair in my captain's cabin as a captain-y kind of hat.
It's scene decoration.
We'll get you a hat stand so that you can get various tricorns that you want to put
There we
on.
go. I'm going to collect tricorns. I'm going to put a whole load of hooks on my wall, and I'm going to collect tricorns, except the ones that
Every captain that we capture and kill, we should take their hat.
take that hat and let's keep it a souvenir. Yes.
Alex, did the captain that we deposited on that island have a hat?
No.
Damn it.
Well, this can be your one for her because she didn't have a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. The bookstore, the worn page. The exterior is a quaint old-fashioned shop with a wooden sign inlaid with golden lettering, and the windows are filled with leather-bound books. Of course, we're still in the aesthetic that we had before of sandstone and such, but it is still a wooden sign, of course, covered over by the various fabrics and such. Inside, rows of dusty bookshelves stretch up to the high ceiling with a few comfortable reading chairs nestled between the stacks. Behind the counter, sort of like a circular counter in the center, a see every part of the shop kind of a counter, is another goblin.
What was the name of the shop?
The worn page.
Well, Niffy wants to look for a couple of books.
Okay. Tell me what they are and give me a investigation.
She wants to look for a book on fermenting and any books on rations.
Okay, give me an investigation.
Natural 20.
Okay. You find near the back there is a sort of a cookbook section in which there is a bit of a history on fermenting, kind of a guide. There's nothing in here that's like, a proper how-to book, but it is enough that you could probably follow along. And the other one was, what was the other one you're looking for? Rations. What when you say a book on rations, what do you mean?
Just like a book that kind of gives you the best way to like prolong. That's not fermenting, but like prolong life on things.
Right. You find a book.
Food?
You find a book called Jerking It, which is a
No.
book on making jerky and other curated meats or for.
Why
for
did you
mass.
get that locked and loaded?
Yeah.
Book on jerky and what?
So the book is-
what it's jerking.
The book is Jerking It. It's just a book on jerking meats.
Nah, that's it. And she'll just wander off and pick up a couple of books that she can just read.
Sure. You reading them in shop? You're not buying them?
No, she'll buy them.
Okay. We'll get to the till after. Is there anyone else buying anything? Or are we going?
Monty will have a little look to see if there's any books about disembodied spirits.
Give me an investigation.
What? Dice? I forgot how to use those.
While people are looking for books, I will ask the shopkeeper if they have any interest in a reading light that doesn't go out. no matter
Oh
what.
my fucking god.
Investigation. There we go. That is... Oh, that's not bad. 19.
19. Well, you most certainly find a bunch of books, which are all fantasy.
Yeah.
Not really any that would be helpful to you for what you're looking for. I guess other than that, and as I'm sure you've looked in other bookstores, it is a very unique situation, so there's not a lot on...
I'm not actually expecting to.
What is happening?
Off chance.
No, unfortunately not.
I just imagine that I look for those wherever I happen to see books. So he'll just idly wander around looking just on the off chance.
Pesto?
I want to go up to the shopkeep and say, "Hi, what's your name on Pesto?"
Well, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Rechvenkin Goblinsdale.
Goblin.
Goblinsdale.
I'm not gonna remember that part. Goblinsdale.
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 Goblin.
Goblin.
Goblinsdale.
Goblinsdale. Did I do it?
Goblinsdale.
Goblinsdale.
Gore like G-O-R.
Gorblinsdale.
Gorbilinsdale.
Gorbilinsdale.
Yes, Rechvenkin Gorbilinsdale.
Gorblinsdale. Okay.
Fleekin Car.
I have a book on Fleekintar.
Ah! I've heard the name somewhere. I can't remember where.
Yes, old adventures books, or it's stories from about 400 years ago. Good stuff. Good reads. Not sure how much of it is believable. Charging across the heads of an entire army to take out the leaders. Well, that's a little further than belief, might I say.
I can't imagine why anybody would even dream of doing something like that. That sounds
No,
very,
exactly.
very silly indeed.
Yes. Well, story writers, they like to make it a bit more flamboyant for the books.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I just wanted to say hi before I enter your shop. I'm gonna look for a book now.
Oh, yes, of course. I see that your friend has already got 2. It'll be 35 gold for the 2.
Huh?
Yeah,
My
thank
2.
you.
Yes.
I've also got 3 other books on top.
Uh-oh.
What are the other 3?
Just 3 romance books.
Romance or smut?
Smut, obviously.
It's an important distinction.
What's the current obsession? The name of the current... There's currently a set of books
Twilight.
I know. It's not Twilight.
No, you're on about the 4th Wing series.
I don't know, am I? It
I
seems
think
like you know.
better than Alex.
No, I'm only asking because that the 3rd one in that has literally just came out. I think last week or the week before. I'm currently on book 2 of it.
Fourth Wing, never heard of it.
So anyway, you
Can
find a
I-
set of books called The Second Wing, and...
No.
no, you got 3 books.
There needs to be 4. It's not sexy otherwise.
No, I'm only picking up 3 of them.
So all of the books together would come to about 80 gold.
Okay.
Can I look for ones about historic or like legends of sentient items?
Give a investigation.
16.
Nothing that gives locations. There's a couple of things on histories, or like how those sorts of things will be made. Basic ones, not like how to make them kind of things. But there are a couple books that have like rumor-based stuff, like myths and legends kind of books.
Good enough for me.
Yeah, sure. Then there's a book for about 12 gold that's myths and legends of... it's not specifically sentient items, but it sort of includes a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me right now. We can work on some stuff for the future that are myths and legends.
Okay.
Some legends.
Okay.
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 I'm assuming you want to go to another shop?
Onto the curiosity shop.
The Curiosity Shop. Is it old?
Curiosity shop, which is called Whispers of the Past.
I was right, it is old.
Inside, you see... So on the outside, sorry, start there. A crooked wooden sign swings above a small, unassuming door. The windows are once again full of odd trinkets and mysterious objects. This one, as you go in, is still cluttered with, lots of objects and stuff, but you can see a lot more organization and a lot more focus on paintings, artwork, statues, things like that. There's a little section, it appears, for like strange animal bones, and behind the counter is a dwarf. Looks quite old, greying beard, all plaited all the way down to like the knees. It's a lot more artistic, it seems, than the other, which was just like random shit.
Hi, my name is Pesto. What's your name?
What were you going to say, Bernie?
I was going to say, you said there was animal bones here.
There's a few various things, non-distinct, a couple skulls and such like that.
Are they like framed or anything?
No,
She's going to look for fun kitchen stuff.
there is no fun kitchen stuff in here.
Okay.
Any masks?
There's a few what appear to be antique-style masks around, yes. They all look quite fragile and more like put-on-your-wall artistic stuff rather than wearing stuff.
Oh, she really wants skulls.
In answer to you,
Yeah.
there's like, oh, you're right there. Arbernack Crookstack.
Almanac
Arbernack Crookstack.
Cruckstack.
At your service.
Nice to meet you. You got a very fancy place here.
You like to pick up stuff from all over the world.
What's your favorite?
My favourite? I'm quite a fancy to a good piece of artwork. The older the better.
I found this stone with a light on it that doesn't go out. How much do you think you'd get for that?
From here, nothing.
Oh, damn it.
If you're looking at the animal skulls, yeah, there's a good few over there. I mean, they're all mostly small. I did have quite a large skull that would have been from something. I'm assuming it was mostly broken, but it was. I'm assuming it's from an owlbear, but someone bought that recently.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Well, I mean, I don't know where it went. Yeah, it's quite expensive, but lovely nonetheless. I think their plan was to fill in the missing bits with gold.
Oh, such a good idea.
Wait, Neffy, you want to hang some bones up for decoration?
Yeah, you won't give me yours.
No, that's kind of weird.
Why?
Well, I feel like you'd be a bit uncomfortable if I had, like, I don't know, someone spleen or like a foot around for decoration.
Whatever tickles your fancy, mate.
I think the problem with that is that it's eventually going to smell really bad.
I don't have a nose.
You could have one. You could hang it on your wall.
I mean, if you give me a phalange, I won't have to buy one of these skulls.
I don't know what a phalange is.
Little finger.
Oh, no. You can buy a skull if you want to. It just seems a bit strange to me.
What's your cheapest skull?
Cheapest? I think there's one over there from a cat.
No, I don't want a cat.
Snake?
Ooh. Now you're talking. How much?
Yeah. Oh, the cheapest one wanders out, picks up just this tiny one that's like no bigger than like the end of a thumb. Yeah, well, this one for a couple gold.
How much is this one? And I pick up like a palm size one.
Palm size. Oh well, they're much harder to get. That's a much special. I couldn't give that to you for any less than 150 gold.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. Goes back to popping like her cheeks and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Captain, do you want a fancy piece of art for your quarters?
Yes, I was thinking about it, but at the moment, I think we should husband our resources a little until we've done a couple more jobs. Eventually, perhaps. I do like a nice piece of artwork, a nice pastoral scene, or possibly a ship at sea. Yeah, something like that. Very nice.
Is there anything like that here?
Yeah, there'd be a few, which are just like ships at sea, distant, close up. Some famous ships around, much larger galleons, smaller ones as well, lighthouses, things like that. Really, there's a lot of things. So whatever you want.
Anyone that even kind of matches it, I'm just going up and going, "Hey, how much is this one? How much is this one? How much is this one?"
They range from like 5 gold to 1,000 gold, depending on how rare they are and who made them.
Can I get one of the cheaper paintings?
Yeah, 5 gold for just like a. They're not bad paintings. They're just not known artists or anything. They're more like generic. It's just a ship with an island in the background.
Yeah. Cool.
Watercolor.
How big is it?
Nice. Probably like a 30-inch screen kind of thing, like portrait.
Okay. Sure. I got you one, Captain.
Very, very kind.
Yeah, it's in a simple frame, just like a wooden frame with a little bit of fanciness to it.
Wasn't even that expensive.
Yeah. Not signed or anything.
How much did you say it was?
5 gold.
Yeah.
Easy that.
Yeah.
That's a very, very kind thought. That'll keep my cabin looking particularly fine. Thank you.
Of course.
Anybody else interested in anything while we're here? No. Right, well, I think that's it then. Thank you very much, dear boy, and we'll probably be popping back at some point, I'm sure.
Of course.
Their name was Almanac, or Abernac.
Arbanak.
Arbanak.
Yes. Well, very nice to meet you, and I'll possibly see you again.
Last one was the antique shop.
Did you want to go to the antique shop?
Yeah, we're going to go to the antique shop.
Okay. Go to the antique shop, which...
Whispers of the even further past.
Whispers of the even further past. This is called the Timeless Trinket. And at the shop exterior, a stone building, fairly weathered. It seems at some point the stone had like nice carvings into it, but it's been obviously a long time since any of that was done, and it's all worn a little bit away. A little lantern hanging above the door, an everlight. The inside, once again, shelves with all sorts of relics and such. Parchments, some books and things. You can tell everything in here is very neatly and carefully placed. It's very similar to the previous places, but obviously far higher in quality / price. Behind the counter, you see an owlin, brown in feathers, and sort of just watching you as you wander around. Seems older, the feathers are a little bit more ruffled and such. Doesn't pay attention to you much until, of course, you would go over. Around is very similar. There's some paintings, there's vases, cups, goblets, little models and such, like ships and such. There's some of those ranging from very large to much smaller. What appears to be framed maps and things, very old hand-drawn maps. Sort of anything that you could imagine that would be display-worthy,
Hi, I'm Pesto. What's your name?
Every single time. The name's Renful.
Renful.
You're Renful. Lovely to meet you.
You too.
If anything takes your fancy, be free to ask. Most things near have an estuary. I know most of them. Some of them I have to try and work out. Others lost to time. You know how it is.
You got any antique kitchen stuff?
Antique kitchen stuff? Well, it depends what we count as kitchen stuff. I mean, there's some, teapots and stuff around.
Oh, teapots. I like teapots.
Yeah, there's a few over in the corner there. You can see them. Most of those are found from collections around, different parts of the world. You can see the influences of the different cities from them. That one over there, you can tell, is from before the fall of Veluna. It's a proper rare piece, that one.
Are they still good for brewing tea?
Well, that one probably not. Some of the other ones you might do. They're more for display than anything. I wouldn't want to put them through too much stress.
Yeah, I live on a ship. That's a lot of stress.
It's really up to you. Good decoration pieces, though.
No thanks.
So you sell old stuff that looks good, right?
I guess you could break it down to that, yeah?
I'll put my Ghostlight Stone on the counter and I'll say, how old's this and how much do you think I could get for it?
I'm not really one for natural objects in that it's a rock, and I'm not too bothered about magical objects either, which is glowing.
So, nothing then?
I don't want it, no.
No.
Not really,
Do you have any antique hats at all?
Well, there's a couple around. They tend not to last the time and such because materials, especially they're not as well made in the old days. But I can see you're wearing a tricorn, so I think there's a couple of old, adventurers, what we would these days call pirate hats, tricorns and such. You'd have to take care of them, make sure that you put the right coatings and stuff on the inside, especially if you're going to wear it. The oils from the skin can be quite bad. But yeah, I mean, there are some quite nice ones from old captains and such. I to be honest, a lot of those, you lose the history of them, so most of it's assumptions in terms of age and such. I can do some analysis, but they look good.
What do you have at the moment?
Well, you got those three over there. You see, one is a lovely black tricorn hat, very, very dark black. It's this lovely leather, but you can see that the top of it has been formed and shaped into that of a skull. There is a second one where from the side parts, the parts that come up, sort of fade into a dragon scale pattern. So it starts as like a leather, and then almost as though the two materials have been infused magically together, it goes into like a more metallic-y bronze kind of thing, but it's still standing. It doesn't seem to have any weight to it, but like a metallic-y bronze sort of scale to it. And the last one seems to just be a brown leather hat.
Can you tell me anything about the history of these three?
Well, not a lot. You can tell that they've been made very nicely. That one that looks like a skull, I'm assuming is around 200 to 300 years old. Techniques at the time were a lot harder to make that kind of thing. I assume it was done magically, but there's not as much of a remnant to prove that it was. So there's a good chance that it were just done by hand, which of course makes it a much more special and unique item. Don't know where it originated from, but I found it came to me through someone who'd been traveling over from the other continent up in Ferron Major, over on the eastern side. It seemed to be found in an old crypt under inside an old mausoleum that were falling down inside the crypt, But there wasn't much. Unfortunately, it had broken down too much to tell whose it was. I assume it was someone who was rich at some point, because you don't get that kind of a burial without it. Had to do some restoration, obviously, it being buried under and such, which means you can see little bits and pieces are patched. I've tried to make it as close as possible. You look real close. I can point those out for you. But the majority of it is, of course, original. The one that's scaled, as far as I can tell, comes from an old dragon hunter. Again, that's got to be like 600 years old, an old dragon hunter. Don't know if it was a successful dragon hunter or not, but you can tell because those unique marks on the inside. It's an old language, but it does. It's the marks of the role at the time, not really used these days. It's illegal to hunt dragons and that, at least not without permission. But it seems someone who's probably fairly proficient. This unique design going from leather into a sort of a brassy type thing, but keeping the brass nice and flexible would have been quite difficult to do, especially at the time. The other one, I don't know any history on it, but all of my records would say that it's about 1,000 years old or so. So it's a very unique piece. Not sure where it came from. Of course, again, given to me, passed through with some. I have various contacts and stuff. Wouldn't say where they'd found it, just that they'd had it. I've, of course, checked it for curses and all that sort of stuff, made sure it's non-magical. It is non-magical, but it's certainly old.
Very interesting. And what sort of price are we talking for these?
Well, the first two of those, the skull, we'd be looking at somewhere around 1,500 gold. The scales, probably looking more at 3,000 gold, and the leather one there, we're probably going for about 40,000 gold.
Quite expensive for a hat.
Well, it's the age really that it does it. It's a very unique item. Like I said, you have to look after it. The fact that it's lasted this long is quite a testament to the design of it, and somehow people have been taking care of it for a long time.
Marvelous.
It's very unique to find a 1,000-year-old hat in such good condition as well.
Very, very true. Very, very true. It is very interesting indeed, and thank you for your time. I'm not going to buy them at this particular moment.
Right,
but
well,
I am going to keep them in mind for later. Oh, while I'm speaking to you, I don't suppose you have it. Maybe the wrong shop. No, that's all right. That's all right. Thank you very much for your time.
Wonderful.
Anybody else interested in any items from this gentleperson?
No, but I'm ready to go back.
Shop?
Did one of those hats smell like bread? Like the one that wasn't dragony?
There's two that aren't dragony.
Why do you
The
always
not
smell like
plain
bread?
one. The first
skull.
one that you described.
The skull one.
Skull one.
Don't think so.
Oh, you said it came from the eastern side, so I was just curious.
No, I think you just misunderstand. It's the eastern side of Ferron Major.
Is there a lot of bread production over there?
No more than usual, I don't
let's
think.
go.
Well, that was it for all the shops.
And you wander out.
Jolly interesting.
Let's go kill someone.
About 10 minutes or so left. Is there anything that you wanted to do? Or do you want to have a nice little skip across to your next mission? I'm happy to do other things if you wish to. But
We have nothing in I have nothing in particular I want to do.
Wonderful. So you go back to your ship at the end of the day.
Sorry,
rest
just
up.
before
Yes?
we do skip ahead. Rowan, was there anything that you wanted to make with the time?
You'd have, at this point, a good amount of evening and a night, so probably, let's say it's 6 o'clock. So if you're waiting until about 8 in the morning, including a long rest.
Diamonds. We were going to go buy diamonds.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
How much money are you sinking into buying diamonds?
Just get 3 diamonds for 300 gold.
That's lovely.
Okay.
We'll do
So
that.
diamonds in 100 gold increment. How much gold are you spending on it? How many Bruno 5s do you want, basically?
There are only 4 available, he said.
Oh, okay. Well, then we might as well get all of them.
Okay. I'll mark it off the group phone.
You end up your day
Hang on, I want to make burgers for dinner.
You make burgers for dinner. You would
And I
have
shoot everyone with the condiment
the
gun.
bit that I was saying before is it would be about 6 o'clock by the time you get to the ship, let's say. So you'd have until whatever time you get up in the morning, 8 in the morning. So let's say there's about 6 to 8 hours of extra time other than sleeping.
I want to use some of that time since we're in port to fully repair the hull, since it just had temp HP before.
Should be fun. Yeah. You've got that. I haven't have it open right now, but you can do the calculations on how much time that comes to how much you can heal.
35 minutes.
I can assist you with that if you would like, Rowan, but
It just takes 35 minutes. It's fine.
Fine.
I
And then obviously take that off the health pool.
Yeah. Well, I assume since we pick stuff up, just pick up the stuff that we need to use
You need to pay for it.
from the other ship. From the other ship.
Yeah, but you put the maximum amount you went back to the maximum amount you can store on your ship, and you're now healing in port. You're now fixing up in port, so you'd have to take from that.
We couldn't just take the amount we'd need. No, it's fine.
You have
Don't worry
a
about it.
storage and a maximum amount you can
Don't-
put into your ship.
It's not worth it. Don't worry about it.
Sure. And if there's anything else you want to do at that time, you do get some lovely burgers,
And get shot with the condiment gun.
of course.
I will unattune to my shield of missile attraction
Okay.
and attune to the screaming sword.
Of course.
I was just say I will let everyone know that I will now take a bit more damage from ranged weapon attacks.
But so it was the shield that meant that all ranged attacks came to you within 10 feet.
That is the curse. Unattuning to it does not mean that the curse stops affecting me. It says, this shield is cursed. Attuning to it curses you until you are targeted by a remove curse spell or similar magic. Removing the shield fails to end the curse on you. So I'm still cursed.
I just want to see if there's a thing. It depends on whether you can unattune, and if the curse stays and you do unattune, or if the curse stops you from being able to unattune.
They usually say that if it's part of the curse.
Yeah. It's an odd one, really. It's an odd one because you've taken advantage of a curse being something you want, so therefore it's a free magical effect. But
I mean,
sure.
The thing that makes it good is the resistance to damage, to that damage, but which I won't get because I'm not going to be holding it. I'm going to hold a different one instead.
But you are purposefully standing in places where you take the hits from range attacks.
I suppose.
Exactly. Just start firing cannonballs closer to you. So anyway,
I mean, sure.
you,
There's a limited number of
barrage.
us on the ship. It makes sense.
where's it going with? Yes, was there anything else that Pesto is doing since you have another 7.5 hours?
To apply a cantrip, or I don't have the sheet for the spell stuff because it's not part of the homebrew rules, so I don't remember what all the
is it
timings
not?
are.
Then a cantrip takes a day, which is 8 hours in this because whatever. It takes 8 hours and will cost you 15 gold, and you can put that on anything.
Okay, a first level spell.
A first level spell also takes 8 hours. It just costs 25 gold instead.
Cool. I want to, and it takes me half the time because of my my artificer feature.
Sure.
So can I make 2 cannonballs with grease on them?
You can.
That activates where the cannon impacts.
Okay.
Or the cannonball impacts.
Yeah. I know what you meant. I didn't just expect the cannon to. Woo! Grease's first level, yes?
Yes.
Yes, that's 50 gold. You can do it within the 8 hours, whatever, 7.5. You've got the time to do it in this downtime.
Sick.
And yeah, just write down that you've got 2 cannonballs of grease, and write down your little detail that they'll go off where the cannonball impacts. I'll let you keep track of that rather than me, because I've got so much to keep track of anyway.
I'm gonna put it in the tainted sheet.
You know what? That sounds good. Yeah, add a little slot for that. You go through the next day. Let's say about lunchtime. You go over to the Hurricane once again in order to get what you hope to be will be a second mission. Assuming nothing else happens in the morning. I'm sure you had a lovely little breakfast. Nothing particularly special or important has happened.
Hang on, we've gone past midnight.
You wake up in the morning.
I do.
And Your centaur, you kind of have to squiggle into a bed a little bit, just sort of like rest the horse body on the side and your body on a pillow. But you wake up on the floor, much smaller than you were before, at 3'5". You are in fact now a goblin.
Goblin.
You've got wrinkled skin, slightly greyish green skin, wrinkled, and a bald head with just a few wispy pieces of hair that sort of stick up in random directions, with a little bit more curved around the back.
Marvellous. I shall use my, I forgot what it's called again, thingy weave, shift weave.
Yeah. Get a tiny little captain's outfit. The hat, a little large, fits nicely.
That's good. And I'll obviously wear my mask.
Yep.
So with the hat and the mask, I would have the hair hidden, so you wouldn't see the difference.
Swishes a bit on your slightly larger nose.
Yes. It's probably slightly further out.
Just protruding. Yes, you wander outside and...
Morning, chaps!
Nope. Morning, Captain.
Yeah, you're looking eye to eye for once.
Yes! Interesting to get a different viewpoint.
Uh-huh. Sorry, this is going to take some getting used to.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
That one was a particularly sharp change.
Yes. I mean, one of the problems is, of course, that I almost couldn't get my hat. I put it on a shelf last night when I could reach it. This morning, it was, But fortunately, I have some stepladders in my cabin for that very purpose, so I was all right.
Mm. Does your voice change at all when this happens, Mark? Or do you now have like a kind of Joe Pasquale-esque thing because you're so much smaller?
No, I sound exactly the same as it.
No, I sound exactly that. I just look different.
Yeah, voice is the same.
Right then, chaps. Breakfast. If someone could help me up onto this chair. Thank you.
I'll go get your hat for you, Captain.
That's my what?
Your hat? You said it
On
was
my
on
hat.
a shelf that
No,
you couldn't reach?
It's on my head. I have a small stepladder in my room for this very purpose. And also an extra wide door, because you never can tell. Anyway, let's get some breakfast down us and get and see what W can tell us this morning.
Wonderful.
Isn't he expecting us in the evening?
Yes, you might as well pop in now. We've done all the shops. Unless you want to get around them again.
Well, we can go to a different
let's,
section.
Let's go through the list first and see who wants to go where.
We've got a different section of the city. We have no.
Oh, no.
Once again, you find yourself in the refined and warm office of W. Yes, we're skipping ahead, because I don't need to describe how you walk through the streets every single time.
Yes, you do.
But I have more descriptors for you this time.
This time I can't see what's on the desk.
The first time you came in, it was all new, and the flood of information made it hard to really focus on the room itself. But this time you could appreciate some of the decoration around the setting. The bookshelves along the walls hold an impressive collection of books, rows of meticulously maintained tomes on navigation, history, and law, interspersed with field journals and ledgers bound in cracked leather, and rolled maps tied with faded ribbons. Here and there, subtle decorations hint at W's past, items that speak to his history, but with little mention of the context. A brass astrolabe with an inscription worn smooth, a single feather from a large beast, and a shard of polished crystal that glimmers faintly under the soft glow of an overhead lamp. The desk itself is mostly made of practical items, a quill and ink pot, various rulers and other similar stationery, but a couple of items stand out from the rest. The first is a rather rough-looking pencil, evidently hand-carved from the uneven texture and wonky aesthetic. Carved into the side in large letters is the word Daddy with a little heart. The second is a small oval locket on a chain encased in a little display dome. The locket is simple, with no fancy design on the face except a small engraving of a single letter, A. And as you sit down, W speaks. All right then, chaps. I've got a fairly simple one for you, more of an investigative type. There's a church up in the Pious Quarter called the Church of the Two Sons. Seems they've had a spot of trouble.
I'm down here, by the way. You seem to be talking over my head.
Yes. You see him tracing a finger down a page a little. Says, according to the notes, the members of staff at the church, as well as a large number of churchgoers, have fallen unconscious and seem impossible to wake up. This report came in about 3 days ago, that's why I was trying to collect all the details. It seems they all fell unconscious within the prior 2 days. Unfortunately, that's about all I've got for you. Hence the investigation angle. Could be a curse, a monster, a spell, who knows? Request is you find the source of the problem and deal with it appropriately. Now, the Church of the Two Suns is a church that celebrates life, but I think it would be best that there's no death during this one. That being said, if it's unavoidable, then so be it, but do your best. The pay is pretty good for this one, considering the simple nature. 3,500 gold, so after my cut you'd be getting 3,150.
How do they feel about the undead?
Not particular fans as far as I'm aware. Like they say, that celebrators of life, not particularly into the whole rebirth angle or the undead. But of course, probably not anything against, well, your good self.
I'm glad to hear that, because I'm not quite sure I sit on the whole spectrum thing, but that's good. Lovely.
Well, you seem to sit about 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Might have to go with the whole thing of like you've summoned me, Captain, or had me summoned.
Yes, as long as I might have to keep my mask on for this one then, because you can see through me if I take my mask off, and they might be unhappy with that.
Well, if you're happy to take this, I can give you the location of the church.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. Whereabouts, sir?
Wonderful, yes. There's a pious quarter, so all the way up in the north. And points on a little map to show you where it is.
In the north, the pious.
And for those who do not know, pious, P-I-O-U-S, is like religious.
It is, and it's also the word I always use as my first word when I'm doing Wordle, because it has 3 vowels in it.
Well, there you go.
Useless information, I know, but it's still true.
Wordsel. Wordsel.
Huh? Yes, right here. Old chap. We'll see what we can do.
I'll note you down then.
Do we have a particular contact to talk to when we get there?
Well, just go over to the church. Supposedly there's someone over there who'll be awaiting. I'm not too sure. Like I said, most of the people, in fact all of the people that work there are unconscious, so I assume someone's taking over. The place is shut down for now. I don't know if this is anything infectious or any of that. I mean, you're adventuring types, you're generally stronger, I can tell, but I'd be aware of, what you touch, what you look at, what you interact with, in case you fall unconscious yourself.
Very fair point. Very, very fair point.
They can never get us.
Well, it depends on what's trying to get you.
Nothing.
I mean, I might be alright, but the rest of you might struggle with this one.
Possibly. We'll have to see what we can do. Very well, chaps. Let's go and see if we can help these poor people.
Welcome, in fact, advised to take along your floating droid for this one, just in case any of the guards see you adventuring types.
Sure.
I think we definitely will. Yes. Thank you for the advice.
Wonderful. Well,
any questions, everyone? No. Then off we go. Think about it on the way, Ozzy.
Okay.
Wonderful. In which case, you head off north. It would take like an hour and a half to walk through the city, so it's a fairly long walk over one of the bridges across the river. I think I shared with you the map, so you can vaguely get the route.
It's a long walk.
It's a long
Which
walk.
of these dots is it, or squares? How close to the river is it?
I haven't got a specific one. I was imagining sort of just a bit north of the P of Pious Quarter. It's just a building. It is not one that is noted in white.
Oh, okay. Alright. So towards the edge of town then?
Yeah, so now as you'd go over the big bridge, because that's probably the one you'd take, right in the centre, you'd be able to see the palace over to the northeast in the Sun Quarter. Beautiful thing. See all the gardens and such. But yes?
Lovely. Head up towards the church.
Good shopping episode.
Well, you had to have one.
Very good.
Yeah.
But now we know what to expect, and we don't have to spend nearly as long ever again in this.
True, and I got a hat. I mean,
well, to clarify, I've given you the shops from
I got a burger press.
the quarter that you were in. There's
True, so true, actually, yeah.
I'm looking
4 other quarters?
Yeah, there's
5 quarters.
Yep.
Yep.
They're
So
pirates. They're pirates. They can't count.
We've
So
already
that-
been through this.
There's the Pious Quarter, the Home Quarter, the Old Quarter, the Spice Quarter, and the Sun Quarter.
Because why not?
If there was a 2 sun quarter, is that where this church would be?
No, the Pious
okay,
Quarter
the
is
Two
where
Sons.
the Two Sons Church is. The Sun Quarter is not.
Sun Quarter is where the 2 sons came from.
Very happy with my pocket watch and tiny halfling statuette.
Oh, and I have my painting in my cabin as well. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I can't wait for none of them to ever come up again.
I'm going to make sure they come up.
I was
again.
half expecting, and I put the hat on in this morning for Alex to say he bites you in the head or something.
No, you didn't get the bitey one.
I know I didn't. I know I didn't think I had.
You don't know what would have happened if you got the bitey one.
Well, exactly. I don't know, and I'm not keen to find out.
My reward for finishing this mission is going to be finding out what's going on with the statuette.
Oh yeah.
It'll probably be nothing at all. It's probably going to be one of those things where like the statue falls down, like the little toys that just went when you press the button. But we'll see.
I just looked up hat with teeth, and they're all
Why would you do that? Not good, I'm sure.
No, they're fine. They're what's his face? Crocodile Dundee hats.
No.
Oh yeah.
That's not a hat. This is a hat.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Judy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then. In what universe I thought that I'd need to get that Roll20 map prepared? Who knows? I do it every time, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
If I had realized that we were going to have shop time, I would have just told you don't even try.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it either. But hey, it's all fun.
And I've written down every one of those shop names and their people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come up again. I promise.
Note it all down. That's why I note it down. I learned.